Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee, I, Dr. Pushpa CN, truly delighted to welcome you all today for the first event of the conference, 16th International Conference on Information Processing ICINPRO 2021, organized by the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, University Vishwesvaraya College of Engineering, Bangalore University, Bangalore, and Computing Professional Charitable Trust, Bangalore. ICINPRO 2021 is a pioneer international conference of the ICIP and ICINPRO series and is the 16th conference which is to be held in the October 2021. The ICINPRO series of the conference was one of the first international conferences organized in Bangalore since 2007, chaired by pioneers in research and academia. The ICINPRO 2021 focuses on high quality publication. The ICINPRO is a legacy conference and is mentored by several renowned researchers across the globe. The conference strives for quality and excellence in research and is the right arena to share and exchange stimulating ideas among scientists and engineers and capture highly innovative and state of the art research papers in the emerging field of information processing. The ICINPRO carries the legacy forward and invites high quality recent research results in the areas of IoT, data science, networks, data mining, artificial intelligence, and all recent trends in computing. We are happy to announce that today's webinar on research paper writing tools and techniques as a curtain raiser event to promote our conference ICINPRO 2021, which will be helpful to research scholar to write a research paper for the new findings and applications of computer science. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome speaker of today's program, Dr. Abhishek Apaji, Institutional Coordinator for R&D and Assistant Professor, BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. Welcome, Abhishek. Abhishek,
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
it, it is with great pleasure that I heartily welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University, Dr. Venugopal K.R. Sir, Publication Chair, IC Infro, to this program. I welcome Sir in his absence. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. P. Dipashanai, Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, UVCE, and Organizing Committee Chair, IC Info 2021 in this occasion. Welcome, Madam.
Thanks. Thank you, Pushpa. Thank you.
Well, a warm welcome to Dr. S.M. Dilip Kumar Sir, Chairperson and Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, UVCE, to this event. Welcome,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you, madam.
I would like to welcome Dr. Triveni J, Officer on Special Duty for Examinations, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, UVCE, and Finance Chair, IC Info 2021 to this function. Welcome, Madam. Triveni, Madam, Idara. Okay. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the delegates from various organizations, faculty members of UVC and various institutes, research scholars and PG students to this webinar. I wish and hope that everyone will make use of this webinar fruitfully, and I wish the conference a grand success. Welcome one and all. Now I'll introduce resource person of the today's program, Dr. Abhishek Apaji. Dr. Abhishek Apaji is working as an institutional coordinator for R&D and assistant professor at BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. He is also serving as a guest faculty at Maastricht University, the Netherlands. He is a graduate of Massachusetts Institutes of Technology Global Entrepreneurship Bootcamp specialized in new ventures leadership. He obtained his Bachelor of Engineering in Medical Electronics with university rank from BMSCE, Master of Technology in Information Technology, and a Master of Engineering in Bioinformatics from UVCE Bangalore. His PhD was in mental health and neurosciences from Maastricht University, the Netherlands. Abhishek is a senior member of IEEE. He has served in various volunteering positions of IEEE. Currently, is the chapter coordinator chair of the IEEE Bangalore section, treasurer of IEEE Computer Society Bangalore chapter, webmaster and MD chair for IEEE PES Bangalore chapter, and advisor for IEEE EMB BMSG chapter. He is also serving secretary of IEEE Smart Cities Marketing Committee. Abhishek has received various grants from Indian agencies like DST, DBT, BIRAC, and from abroad. He also worked as a research associate in the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He has two patents filed in medtech space. He has more than 50 international and national journal publications and conferences to his credit. He has been part of more than 150 invited expert talks in various conferences, forums, and events. He has renowned laurels including IEEE International Best Paper Award in Malaysia, MGH Camtech Jugarthan Awards, Best Nodal Coordinator Award, Gandhian Young Technological Innovation Award at Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi, Elderly Care Hackathon, winner of Class 5 MIT Global Entrepreneurship Bootcamp, IEEE MGA Young Professional Achievement Award, R10 YP Achievement Award, and many more. So I welcome Abhishek once again, and over to you, Abhishek.
Yeah, thank you,
One
ma'am.
minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Before
Yeah.
Abhishek starts, Abhishek, more than 100 participants now. I'm very happy. And when Pushpa was going through your CV, I came to know that you worked on mental health. One of my PhD students wants to work in this area, and you are going to help us. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, definitely.
Okay. Over to you, Abhishek.
Yeah. Thank you. So first and first, UVC is my alma mater, so I can't say no to UVC for any reasons for whatsoever. So today I came home early so that I can take the call and I can get prepared for this webinar, what we are having today. So I'm not made any slides. I made slides, I'll show you, but it won't be of much use for you. So this session today, what we are going to have will be completely more of hands-on and demo. So if you have access to one more computer, so please go ahead and open it and you can do parallelly with me what I'm trying to do. So I'll be showing you some of the tools and techniques, what you can use for research, for writing papers, as well as for publishing, ensuring the quality is sustained and other things. So having said this, before we start off, thanks to UVC, I can see many of my faculties have joined here. I mean, who are my teachers who have joined here, and thanks a lot for inviting me back. And ICINPRO, I've been part of it, and some of the other, I'm trying to be part of it from past couple of years, and it's been legacy that it started long back, much ahead than any other conferences, and it's still been sustainable, and the quality is increasing day by day, year by year. So having said this, let's go and let me share my screen. And before that, before I share the screen, so we see 108 participants, including me. So let's see 107. So I want to know, in this crowd, I see many of you have PhDs. So I'll do one thing, I'll mute all of you so that only when it is required at the end, I'll unmute. Yeah, now you can't mute. I mean, you can't unmute yourself. So if you want, there is one button, raise hand. So you can just click on that and you will be able to raise your hand and we'll ask some, I mean, I can be able to answer some of the questions, or you can put it on the chat window and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so before we start, so I've just put hi on chat window so that you get to know where it is. Before we start, I want raise of your hands or Lex or anything which is available on this platform. You can just do thumbs up to know if you have published at least one paper in journal. So Darshan is asking, is there any passcode to join the meeting? No, there is no passcode. You can just directly join the meeting by the meeting number. So I want to know, just raise your hand in the, there is some reactions where you can give, just raise your hand or say thumbs up if you have published at least one paper. So I can see a lot of them raising their hands, which is good. And I assume that the others who have not raised a hand have not published at all. So, okay, you still have time. So I'll give you another few seconds to raise your hand or do thumbs up or clap or whatever you want. So there are a lot of emojis. So people are saying yes, that's good. You can also say yes, no, don't know, anything. There are other kind of, all kinds of emojis are available for you. Cool. So there is a lot of people who have already published. Good that the number is keeping on increasing, number of participants. We have seen all of you have published, but one thing which we compromise in India, especially India and China, is the quality. So through these kind of workshops I'm doing from past 4 to 5 years, and it's small efforts to ensure that all of you publish in very good journals and conferences. So how do you, before that, you have already had sessions on way to publish and other things. I get to know that, but let me give you a little gist about it. So one thing, how do you recognize if a conference is good or if it is something, say ICINPRO we have. So how do you assess if it is a good conference? How do you think that, how do you assess if it's good to submit a paper there? So any one of you, can you please tell me on the chat window? So why do you think you want to publish in, on what basis do you think it's something very important you want to, some good publications you want to come up? On what basis do you select ICINPRO or some other conference or any other conference? How do you select? How do you decide on that? You can just put it on chat window, one line. You can say quality, you can say anything you want, because UVC is organizing based on citation. Okay. Any other answers? How do you decide if the conference is good? Okay, for journals, we have editorial boards. Yes, that's also one measure. But for conferences in particular, I'm asking based on index. Okay. For conferences in particular, how do you decide whether it's a good conference, bad conference, whether the conference is something good or not? Fine. A lot of you are telling index. That's good. Based on citation, who is organizing and where, based on the publication. Where I don't think it matters. It can be in Goa or it can be in Bangalore or it can be in US. But yeah, that's good. I'm getting a lot of good answers. So what I feel, see, all these opinions, what I'm going to give today, all the tools which I'm going to show you today is completely based on my experience and my thoughts, which I use day in, day out for my research and writing papers. So many of you are answering, how do you decide if a conference is good? If it is flagship conference, what is flagship conference? If it is happening for year by year. So this year it happened, last year it happened, last year. So ICINPRO has been happening for 18, 19 years, 2004 or something you started, right? So almost it will reach 18, 17 to 18 years you have been doing the conference, which means that the quality automatically it will be taken care once you do time and again. If you go to a conference which is being first time, then you may have apprehension because not all of them are experienced. But here in UVC, we have the entire team who have experience of doing conference for 18 times, 16 times, 17 times. So flagship is one of the thing which you will see. Second thing, exactly who is organizing? It's UVC which is organizing, so it's reputed obviously. Or if it is some IIT is organizing, or you have some college which is well known and they're organizing, it's good. There are some conferences which is directly organized by IEEE, for example, directly organized by some of them like IEEE or Springer themselves, they do organize based on something. So those things also are good. Again, all said and done, every time, first time is learning for them. And it may go to the place where they have promised, like Explore or in Springer proceedings or anywhere else we are proceedings. So you should be a little cautious in doing that. So that's one. For journals, we have different parameters. So I'll show you some of the easier ways to identify which journal is good or not within few time. And then I'll go to the actual topic of the conference, I mean today's workshop. So I guess you're able to see my screen. So I'll not make this as full screen because I'll be juggling around with the different tabs. So what I'll do is you can see, okay, yeah, these are my affiliations, which you already know. So one thing which we have concern in India as well as in China and few other Asian countries is plagiarism. So that's been coming down a lot nowadays, but still it has to come down to zero. So quality is something very important everywhere. The measure of research is the quality rather than quantity. So keeping that in mind, I'll show you some of the tools which we should be thinking or we should be talking about. So, there is something known as Coca, Corpus of Contemporary American English. So I'll just show you everything. I'll just show you on the fly so that you understand it very easily. So sorry, Coca. Yeah, it's Corpus of Contemporary American English. So this is one of the tool which will help you to find out um, how good or how easily you can go and write some of the articles by so many a times we have this problem to understand if it is right way of using the English or if it is wrong way or you are going in the right direction and things like that. So there are few terms which you can use. For example, I want to find out if I'm using the aims as a proper one, and you can just use this. Okay, it's opening. It may take little time. Yeah. So you can just click on some of the things like this aims I star, or you can say you want to use something like some word like research. So all the English from 1990 to 2019, all the English from various articles and journals have been put in one single place, and you can use that. So this is very nice tool. They have made registration mandatory, so that's the reason it's not coming, but it's one of the nice tool which I found. But don't get very what do you call used to it. This will take away a lot of your time, but at least if you're a new researcher, you're trying to do something, use these kind of tools. Okay, so next is I want to go to some of the things like a few of the theory part before we go to some other tools which will be helpful for your research. So peer review process in journals and conferences, it's little different, but the quality what they follow in conference and journals is comparable. So when do you write a paper for a conference is when you have some results which are very good, but you don't know if you are in the right direction or not. At that time, you'll write your conference papers and then discuss that in the conference, saying this is my paper and this is what results I've got. Am I in the right direction and things like that. Of course, your guide is there, but you still need some ouching from the community who are doing similar. So make sure that you have some very good uh, conferences. When you apply, you get feedback and other things. But in journal is something which you are very confident, you know that your paper is correct and you've got confidence, then you apply for journal rather than conference. Conference, they do accept if there is little more plagiarism like 25-30%, but in journals they don't go beyond 10%. So be very careful while you're publishing in journal or conference. So what is the process which is adapted in peer review process in journals? First is the author submits the article. So if the author is there, the author will submit the article. There is again a process for submitting article. It's not just you'll generate one Word document and send it. So you have to send your title page should be there, which will have author details, address, corresponding author details, number of words in abstract, number of words in the article, number of references and things like that. So be very careful. You have to follow those things in the first page, and second page onwards you may have abstract. Abstract can be structured or unstructured. Structured means you need to write what is the aim, what is the methodology, what is the results, and what is the conclusion. So you have to divide and write. For a few of them, they don't ask structured. You have to just write one para and send. Usually the abstract will be around 250, 200 to 250 words depending on each journal. Once you do that, once you have figures and tables, everything separately, you have to upload it, and you have to give the details of all the authors. And once you have uploaded and everything submitted along with a cover letter, then it will be sent to the editor. So the editor will see the journal, see the article which you have submitted, and the editor will think, yes, this is right article, which falls in the scope of the journal, and also is of some good quality. So let me send it to the reviewers. If the editor feels it's not that good, then the editor will directly reject. It won't even go for review. Or if it is not within the scope, that also they won't send it. So it will be rejected right then. So this process will take around any good or bad journal. I wouldn't talk about bad, but any good journal will take at least 15 days to 1 month for the editor to see just the abstract, your covering letter, and see whether it is worth sending for review or it is rejected. So that will take around 15 to 20 days and also sometimes a month. After it is being rejected, then you have to see what may be the reason, retrospect to yourself. They won't give you any reason. They may say only out of scope or the quality is not that good. They'll write just 2 sentences and send you. So another one, if it gets accepted by editor for the review process, it will go to the review. So the reviewer will be at least 2 or 3 reviewer, and review process is 2 types. One is single blind and double blind. Single blind is the author doesn't know who the reviewer is, but reviewer will know who the author is, their affiliation and other details, which is very famous in many of the journals, including IEEE and Springer and Elsevier and other things. So if what is double blind, the author as well as the reviewer, both of them doesn't know who are each other. Only the editor will know who is the reviewer and who is the author. So once that is done, they will send it, they will write the review, which usually will have some lines of some comments about your article, what is good, what is not good, what can be improved, whether it is publishable or it is not publishable, there is some technical flaw, or technically it is sound, but English is not good. So all these things will be put in the review, and they will send the paper to, they will say whether they'll send the review back to the editor. In case they have some questions, they'll write to editor, and editor have to give the supporting documents. They may ask the authors to resubmit some of the things or revisions and things like that. If the author, however, reviewers can recommend for accept or reject or revision or minor or major revision, but they can't take the decision. So editor has all the powers to take the decision. Even the reviewer says don't accept, they can accept. If they say accept, they can reject. So that's the editor and sub-editor's job. So once that is done, it is accepted. So editor will accept and or they'll reject. If it is rejected, they'll write the entire review comments, and editor can also add some of the comments and will be sent for the further the authors to revise and submit somewhere else. Just a second. Yeah. So once that is accepted or rejected, so once it is accepted, it will go for production where they'll do some of the type settings and other things, and finally it will go for publication. The online publication may not happen immediately. They'll take around a week's time after acceptance. After that, it may not have issue, so they would have released much before the, like for example, I had one journal which was accepted in 2019, but then the date was coming as 2020, because it will have a place in the journal version or the journal issue sometime in 2020, not in 2019. So these are some of the things you should know. If it is rejected, there will be a lot of reviews which will be given if you have submitted a good journal, on which you can work and resubmit to some other journal, not to the same journal. Or they can give you minor revision, or they can give you major revisions. Based on that, you can submit it back to the same journal. So this is some of the process which usually it is being followed. Now, having said the review process, it's very simple. So you submit the article based on whatever is the procedure and the format, and then it will be accessed by the editor. Editor can reject or send it for review. If he sends for review, then the reviewers will see, give the comments. That comments will be seen by editor. Based on that, he'll say accept or reject. If it is accepted, it will go for production and publication. Formatting is production basically, and publication is making it available online. If it is rejected, you do further revision on what's required and submit it to some other journal. If it is accepted also, it may be accepted as is, which is very, very rare possibility. Out of very good journals I published on 20, in that only one paper I've got accept as is without any changes, which was very rare. But rest all of them I got some or the other revisions, either minor or major, and I have to do and send. So if you have kept all these things in mind, so let's understand what are the elements of a manuscript. So we know these are the elements of the manuscript. So first thing is we should have a title. Title should be something which don't make very too fancy title or too catchy title. And I've seen many of them, they just put their title such that people try to read their paper. And once they read their paper, they'll understand it's not so appealing as the title it should be. So don't give very fancy title, give more of technical, because most of us are here are engineers or someone in STEM. So give very apt title. Abstract is something which you should be looking at 200 to 250 words, which is about, which usually consists of what's your aim, what's your methodology, what's your uh, results, and what's your conclusion. And you have some keywords. Keywords also, you'll have some of the, yeah. So keywords, you will have some at least 5 to 6 keywords which are not overlapping with title. It can be, but usually it's not preferred to have overlap in the title. And then you'll have introduction. So we follow from here onward something as IMRAD format. IMRAD is introduction, methodology, results. Okay, I'm sorry. IMRAD is introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So this is a usual for method which we follow. In technical papers in IEEE and all, you see introduction little longer, which also includes your literature survey, which may go up to a page or so. But if you see other journals, like more of sciences journals, they don't have much introduction. It can be just 10 lines or 20 lines, and then they'll start off with the methodology. So in the methodology, you'll write what methods you have used, for example, I work in image processing. So acquisition of image, processing of image, what method, machine learning, statistical analysis, all those things I'll put. And results is what exact findings you have in results is what you will put. So you got this values, you got this images, output, and all those things you'll put. And results is you'll discuss what the fact is, whereas discussions and findings, you'll put why the fact is like that. Say, for example, if there is difference between in a class in engineering students or in 10th standard, that is SSLC students, girls perform better than boys. So that's the fact what you have got. But why girls perform better than boys is something which you'll discuss in the discussions and findings. Remember, in discussion and findings, many papers which I also reviewed, there is a problem that they don't compare their work with the previous work. This is very important. If you have got some answers which is better than the previous work, you should tell that, okay, ours is better than that. If it is not better, why it is not better than theirs? What is that thing which is stopping you from being better? And it should also tell some of the limitations of your paper, that this didn't happen in your paper because of this constraint. However, that will be taken care in future, or that will be changed. I mean, that is already taken care because we did this additional experimentation. So that will come in discussions. The last one is conclusion. Conclusion will be usually a small para which is lesser than abstract, where you'll write this is very important and this will impact the society, and this is many of them can use for different applications. Acknowledgement, it's you would usually, so many of them I'm also when I review the papers, I see this common mistake in acknowledgements, is that they just write the author's name. Say for students, though the author is also the guide, So in the acknowledgements they write, we would like to thank our guide Abhishek and he has helped us so and so. So, but if you see the name of the authors, even Abhishek is also one of the others. It's more like thanking myself, which is not okay, right? So acknowledgements, you write someone who has helped you, like your HOD or your some granting agencies, funds who have given, like TechRip has given money, or someone who has given money to perform the experimentation, infrastructure they have given. There is some additional person who actually helped in reviewing your English of your paper. So those people can be put in acknowledgements. References, you put some list of references. There are different formats. I'll show you how you can make reference more effectively, more easier way in some time. So these references are, it has different formats. One is IEEE format, APA format, MLA format, and so on and so forth. So whichever format your journal, where they put in information for authors, that same format you can use and submit. The last one is supplementary data. Sometimes you would have done additional analysis to prove that your work is correct. There may be additional data which you want to send, but your paper may become bigger. So those things can be added in supplementary data, supplementary details. So that will give you additional thing, but it's not a mandatory, but many of papers which I've worked, I've put supplementary because the paper will become huge and the analysis is some additional analysis. That's not the main focus of my paper, but still out of curiosity, out of to make it exploratory analysis, I would have done that. Okay, so we will come back again to tools. How many of you know about Grammarly? So can we have raise of hands of people who know Grammarly, who use Grammarly rather than know? So I can see 4 people who have raised their hands. How about others? You don't know if you have used 6 plus 4, 10, 10 people, 20 people have been using. And somebody also are putting on chat window that they're using. That's amazing. Many of you are using Grammarly, which is good. So that's very important that you install Grammarly and then you have everything ready. Grammarly is very nice and very friendly tool. So I'm sorry. So it's an online tool. You can integrate with your browser. You can integrate with your Word document, PPT, emails, and so on and so forth. So it's nice one, but if you want really more powerful one, you have to pay and get it. And but most of the things is free and it improves day by day because it's learning, again, machine learning and other things. Okay, so this is one of the tools. All of you please explore if you don't know about this tool. Okay. Some of the other tools which I'll show you right away so that you get to know how important it is to publish in good journals. So if your faculties, you know, if you want promotion and if your college is going as per norms of your AACT or any other bodies where you look at. So you should be very careful and you should publish in any very good journals, either in Web of Science or Scopus Index. So these two are different entities. It's not the same entity. So I have full access for this. So that's why I'm using my institution to sign in. So there are two entities, like how we need to follow. For example, if you are in Bangalore and if you are affiliated to you need to answer to both VTU, which is a university which we are affiliated to, and also you should answer to AACT, for example, because you are a technical institution. So here also there are two different things. Scopus is good. It's one of the tool or one of the indexing which is done by Elsevier, Netherlands, and it's good tool for you to explore and see if it is really good one to publish, or it is something. There is another one which is known as Web of Science. It is a third party which is of Clarivate Analytics. So that is also another one which you can try to see and understand if it is worth exploring. So if you ask me, and in BMSC, I'm heading R&D. So we have come up with a policy that you should publish in only in Web of Science journals, because in Web of Science they say quality is very high. In Scopus it would show that it is also high, but in Web of Science if they say quality is not that high, then here they will show that quality is very high in Scopus. So Scopus is also not really a good tool, but it's nice for early career researchers to search something. So for example, if you want to search some author, say some last name, it can be someone like, so one of the things which you guys use is Google Scholar, right? So you know Google Scholar. So scholar.google.com is also one nice tool to find out if your this thing is you can find the profile of even Charles Darwin, you know. So how many citations he has, what is his H index and I10 index and other things. So you can see here, and even 2021 also Charles Darwin has published. I don't know who C. Darwin is, but it has come up here. He's not alive, by the way, 1882 he expired. But if you see his papers, you can go and see this. Google Scholar is also a nice tool. It will give you citations and other things. But what is important is here citations is number of papers, which has been the papers which has been cited by somebody else. So if I use this Charles Darwin paper to my and put it in my paper as reference, so this citation will increase. So that's why he has got 17,000, sorry, 1,74,300 citations. Next is H index. H index is, let me take one simple profile of some name, say Arjun. I don't know who Arjun is. Yeah. So he's from some random person I'm taking. I want to see what is his profile. So what I'll do is I'll sort this by citations. And see, first paper has got 267, second paper has got 61. Similarly, fifth paper 33, 37, 38. So you number each one of them by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15th paper has got 15 citations. 16th paper has got 14 citations. So his H index, when it matches with number of citations, that is nothing but his H index. The serial number has to match with the citation, then it is called as H index. Okay, so that's why he has got H index of 15. Google has come up with another index which is known as I10 index. So I10 index is which is what, say 19 publication of his as minimum of 10 citations for his paper. Okay, so if you go to 19th publication, so till here it is 19 publications. So 19 publications of his has at least 10 citations, at least 10 papers are referred. So that's why it's called I10 index. Whereas H indexes, you put them in sequence and check if they have got serial number wise 1, 2, 3, rank also they call. So this has highest citation. So first rank, second rank, third rank. Whenever your rank matches number of citations, that is your H index. Okay. So both of them should match. Your rank should be, whenever your citations reduces, then your rank is increasing. That time it becomes break even and it is H index. So that is H index, and I10 index is very simple, number of citations you've got for 10 such 10 paper, at least 10 papers will, at least the number of papers which has got at least 10 citations, that is I10 index. So this is something in Google Scholar which you can see and you can get this. We'll again come back to Google Scholar in some time. So we were talking about Scopus, authors and other things, right? Now here, if you put your name, for example, if I put my name itself, it will show what is that, what papers I have and how many papers I have and things like that. So this is my papers, and I can click on my name. It will show all the details about number of citations I've got, and H graph, and what is my ORCID ID, where is my affiliation, and what papers, how many citations it has got, everything. Okay, this is nice tool. You need not have your affiliation to my university library, but you can just have whichever university you have, that should be good enough. Okay, and let's go back to another thing, if I want to know if the journal is Scopus Index or not. So many of them came to me today and they asked in the college whether my journal is Scopus Index or not. So college is asking. So what I do is there is something known as SciMago. SciMago is again, it is based on Scopus. They give something known as SJR. It is journal ranking, SciMago journal ranking. Okay. So in this, I want to put some journal which is known as bipolar disorder. I have one publication in this, or it can be IEEE Access is another one. I have publication in this. So if you go and click on this, it will show you whether it is existing. Yes, it is existing. In that, if you go here and check some, it has H index of 86. Um, which quality factor it is in Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, it will tell you. Now, what is this Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4? I will tell you. Yeah. So if there are, so why is this, if I know, I guess all of you know what is impact factor. Impact factor is for a journal, say this IEEE Access had 100 papers which is published in that year, in past 2 years usually, and number of people who have cited papers in the past 2 years, you take ratio of that, you get impact factor. If only 10 people have cited, you have published 100 papers in past 2 years, 10 by 100, so 0.1 will be impact factor. If 1,000 people have cited your 100 papers which was published, so 1,000 by 100, which will be 10 will be impact factor. So this is impact factor. Impact factor is good, but unfortunately, it's not a good measure for us to compare from person to person. So if I'm in biomedical, if I'm in medical, then you are in engineering domain. So comparing my site, my impact factor of maybe 5 may be really wow. In engineering, 10 may be like even less. So to ensure that there is equal number of comparison for people who are working in terms of journal quality and all, it's not, impact factor is one of the way, but it's not the only way. So what people have done is they have come up with another Clarivate analytics and also SJR. They have come up with something known as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So they divide, it's called quarter one or quality rank one, quality rank two and all. So 4 qualities are there. They divide the area into different categories. For example, if you take this is in computer science, engineering and material science. So in computer science, in engineering science and in material science. So if you take this, if you take some other journal also, it will be in some category. So all of us are divided into different category. So I am in biomedical, you are in computer science, somebody is in electronics and communication. So in your field, which are the top journals, they'll do the assessment. And in the top journals, so there are 100 journals which are very good in that field. In that first 25, they call it as Q1, second 25 as Q2, third 25 as Q3, and 75 to 100 as Q4. So publishing in Q1 is really ambitious. It's very tough. So even in my 20 publications, I guess I have around 5 or 6 which are in Q1. And it's not very easy to publish. It took years for me to publish in such a good journals. So it's very important that you understand this Q1 to Q4 so that you can know which journal to publish. If you don't know, so one of the things which is published here is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That is given by this particular SciMago, which is free. You don't need any login or anything, but this is Scopus version. But if you see Web of Science version, the values may vary. And Web of Science also has some category, subject category like this, where they will say that which is good and which is not good. Computer science is, in computer science, what is top 25, in engineering, what 25, and so on and so forth. So this Q1 to Q4 is important. So always target to publish in Q1, at least you'll end up publishing in Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay. So this is about Scopus. So this is very important. You can write by journal name, or you can just give something like just field name. It will show you some journals with the name of that field. So I work in ophthalmology, or you can just give computer science, which can give you some bunch of journals which are important. Sorry, computer science. So these are some of the journals which are good, and even your conferences will also pop up here if it is indexed. So there are some journals which are good and it is part of Scopus. Okay, so this is how you see in SciMago, which is free. Next thing is something known as Web of Science. So Web of Science is by Clarivate Analytics. Here again, how do you find out if a journal is really good or not? So all the journals which are here are good and it has some value. In this, there are different category, which is, yeah. So there are 4 different categories. I hope you can see my screen. Science Citation Index Expanded, SSCI, AHCI, and ESCI. So these are 4 different types of collections which is there in IEEE, in Clarivate Analytics, that is Web of Science. So this 4, you remember people tell you have to publish in SCI index journals. SCI has been removed from past 3 years. That's what I get to know. Now it is called as SCIE or SSCI, AHCI or ESCI. Publishing in SCIE and SSCI, it will fall into Q1 to Q4 journals. I'll give you one example. You see how much you're able to see here. You're able to see 24,618 journals which are of top quality in all the fields of engineering and sciences. But I want to know some of the journals which are even top most, which comes in Q1 to Q4. In BMSE, we give some financial incentive if they publish in Q1 to Q4. If they publish in Q1, they get 15,000 rupees as cash. So which means that it is of higher quality. So this JCR journal citation ranking is released every year in June. So last year's, that is 2019, whatever has happened will be published in 2020 June. Whatever has been publication in 2020 will be published in 2021. So you just toggle the switch, you see the number of results which is reduced, 24,000 to 12,000. So out of 24,000, which is good to publish, there are only 12,000 which are very good, super good to publish, either from Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So if you see the indexing, it will be Science Citation Index Expanded or Social Science Citation Index Expanded. I'm not, yeah, see here, Social Science Citation Index Expanded. So it is important for you to understand that Social Science Citation Index or Science Citation Index Expanded. I showed you 4 of these things, right? Here is SCIE and SSCI. These 2 things are part of JCR, Journal Citation Report, which will have top quality journals. So if you publish in these journals, what is the advantage? You'll get super fast citations. So I published in 2019, I've got already, or 2020, I've got already like 10 citations within 1 year. But other journals, you need to wait for almost 10 years to get at least 10 citations if it is not quality publications, which are recognized here. Okay. Or you can already, if you have a manuscript, you can just go and log into your account, which is again free to create. And you will be able to get this Manuscript Matcher. So you just go to Manuscript Matcher and give the title saying deep learning medical images, and then you can say give some abstract and then say find journals. It will give you a list of journals which are best match for biomedical images, and it will give you something known as match scores. And if you want only to publish in SSCI top quality Q1 to Q4, I just click on this, the number of journals, it found 32 results for me where I can publish. Okay, this is super easy, very nice tool for everyone to use it. And you can see. Now I want to know Q1 to Q4, which is it Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. That is not free in Web of Science. For that, you should use different website. We'll not go into it because you won't have access to that. I have access, but I don't want to teach you because you won't have. So search the journal here to know if it is good journal, bad journal, if it is part of Web of Science. Go to Scopus and find out if it is put the journal in SciMago, and then you will be able to find out if it is a journal which is worth publishing. Okay, so what all we have learned till now, can someone put it on the chat window for me, or let me put it? So what all things we have learned till now, let's revise. So yeah, so one is Coca, next is peer review process, and then we had what are the elements of manuscript, and then we saw Grammarly, and then okay, I'm typing it, just a second. Yeah, Grammarly, and then we had Scopus, under that Cymago, and then we had Cymago is nothing but SJR, and then we saw Web of Science and Manuscript Match. So this is what we have learned till now, right? So some more tools which will be very helpful for you to publish is, I'll just show you. One is called as Edance. Edance is again one more tool where it gives you journal selector. You have to just put which is your field, put some keywords. It will help you to find what journal to publish. Okay, I'll just put either you put the journal name, publisher, field of study, abstract, keyword. So I'll put here keyword saying deep learning, medical images. So, and it will give me the list of journals which are good. However, you should be very careful whether it is SCIE or SCIE, if it is yes or no. If it is yes, you can go ahead and do it. Or you can sort by frequency, how frequent the publication is. So not low to high, I'll make it high to low, so that frequencies, is it yearly or is it monthly, is it quarterly, it is fortnightly, it is every week, every day, all those things you'll get to know. You can also put indexed in SCIE, indexed in SCI, open access option, impact factor range, field of study, all those things. Or you can check by impact factor, also high to low. Highest impact factor, what it is getting. Is it very high impact factor, or is it very low impact factor, that you'll get. But once you click on that, you will get to know how much is the SJRS. If you remember what we had learned, it is Scopus general ranking, right? So country ranking and all those things. So this is what you'll be able to see. It will give you H index of the journal and other things. Fine. So another tool, something like this, what we saw was Edance. Another tool I would like to show you is Journal Guide, which is helpful. I want to compare a couple of journals which I want to see. I want to see which is good, this one or that one. So in that case, what you can do is go to Journal Guide, give the manuscript title, and then say search. I hope it works. So I've given us deep learning, and I will try to search. Yeah, so it gave me one of them here. It will tell you whether how is the speed and other things, who is the publisher, what is all these values, SSIN, where is the imprint and things, journal website and other things. So let's give another one. I'll give something like, what is that? Image processing, and let's see if more number of journals come. It is searching. So yeah, you got two of them, IET image processing, signal processing. What you can do is you can put this checkbox, both of them, and click on compare journals. So if you compare, it will tell you how fast they'll respond, which is missing in this, but few of them may have. Journal link, who is the publisher, this is Elsevier, this is IET, and publication speed, if there is any publication cost, that they'll tell, and whether it is indexed in Scopus, Web of Science, and what else. Okay, these things will be available for you to easily discuss those things. Okay, so I'll show you one more. I'll show you one more, that is advance is over, journal guide, or two more I'll show you. The journal guide, what was the other one? Yeah. Elsevier has its own journal guide or journal finder. You just put your paper title, something on machine learning. You can put your abstract, and then keywords. So machine classifier, I'll give biomedical. Field of research, I'll give maybe computer science, and then find journal. They've given one case here. So how does it work? So you have to just fill in all these details. It will give you some bunch of journals where you can try to submit. It's really nice, and it's kind of easier for you to, it will give you 33 journals, how much is a match, and how much is the impact factor, acceptance rate, everything it will give you. But this is restricted only to Elsevier, okay, not for others. Elsevier journal finder, right? Journal finder. I'll show you the last one also, IEEE publication recommender, it's called. So this is one good thing is it will tell you which journal to publish as well as which conference to publish. You have a lot of filters also which you can use, so that it gives you the best journal for you to work with. See, I'll just here periodicals means journals, transactions, everything included, or conferences only. So I want to publish in machine learning topic. So you can also tell I want to publish just before July, so that my increment is taken care, and it will get you the records which are possible for you to publish in so and so. So publication time to explore, it will give you, and there are multiple journals it will give here, periodicals. If you scroll down, you will get what are the conferences where you can publish, which city it is, and all those things. You can also, there are some things like sorting, what you can do. And it will also show you some maps of which country it is, and things like that. So you can sort by country as well. Where did it go? Yeah, sort by country. You have Australia, Belgium, Canada, China, India. So India, there is one conference, Connect, which Bangalore section is organizing. And you can sort India ITC International Test Conference is another conference which Bangalore section is part of, and so on and so forth. See, this is one more in Hubli. This is in Coimbatore. So if you want to travel somewhere in, say, I want to travel to Taiwan, or I want to travel to Switzerland, so there's one conference of this. Again, one more rider here. It works only for IEEE publishers. IEEE Publication Recommender. Okay, let's revise what all we have covered till now. Coca, peer review process, elements of Manuscript, Grammarly, Scopus, SciMag or STR, Web of Science, as well as Manuscript Matcher. and Advanced Journal Guide, Elsevier Journal Finder, IEEE Publication Recommender. So these are some of the things which we learned today. There are some more things, we have some more time. So I'll just show you very important thing. There is one tool or plugin which is called too long to didn't read. It's called TLDR, which is very Chrome plugin. So if you go to plugins, you will get a plugin which will give you, okay, extensions which will give you, you can search here TDLR. No, too long didn't read, TLDR. Yeah. See, this plugin is what very nice and interesting one. You can just add to Chrome. Once it is added, okay, this is, oh, this is, I already had this. So here, if I go to my plugin and I will just go to some paper, say machine learning, computer science. Paper article. Okay, best is go to Scopus and check. I mean, sorry, scholar.google.com. I'll put here, and there is this paper which I want to read, but I don't have time. So I want a summary which will make little sense, if not complete sense. So what I'll do is I'll go to some paper where it has proper access. See, this paper is there, right? It says view full text. So you can see the complete text here. So what I'll go is, I'll just go to this and say TDLR. It will summarize everything for me. Okay, I have two of them actually. Yeah, this one. So it is just taking some bits and pieces from the entire page, and it will summarize me in maybe a paragraph or so. It will take some time. Yeah, so it will summarize me with one paragraph like this, saying this is what is the paper about, and this is what is the summary of it. Okay, so whenever you don't get time to read the entire thing, so this is some very good research tool which will summarize the entire paper in just a few sentences so that you get to know abstract. However, you'll have abstract which will tell you some important things about the paper, but you may want some little different way of understanding that paper. So this will help. So this is, what is that? Too long didn't read is the tool name. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. So some of you might have fallen into prey of plagiarism, and then you didn't know how to come out of it, though you have written in different way. There are few tools which will help you to rewrite things, which is not good to use, but it will give you some kind of, some kind of confidence that so I have this sentence. So what it will do is you can ignore something and you can say, I'm not a robot. And it will help me to rewrite this in different form, which sometimes do make sense and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see if it has rewritten. So basically it will replace with, okay, captcha I have to put. See here, my name is Abhishek. I work at designing school. Engineering and designing, it thinks that it's synonyms and gives you. The advantage of this is whenever you are getting like high plagiarism and you don't know what to write, so this is something which you can use. It may not give you exactly accurate conversion, but it will give you some thoughts on how you can rewrite so that it becomes your work rather than just copy pasting somebody's work. So these are some of the list. Quillbot is there, SpinWriter, Best Spinner, Word AI, Clever Spinner, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is Spinbot. Okay, so before we go to further 3-4 tools which we'll discuss, which is very important further, I just want to know if any one of you have any questions. I'll give a minute for you to ask any questions if you have. So a shout, can you just put some random thing on your text box to say that you are still there and you're listening to me? I'm not the only one in the webinar here. So put anything you want in the chat window. Haha, yeah, that's good. Yeah, somebody's raising hands and all. So good, keep coming. Just want to ensure that you are listening and you're not okay, number of chats which we get, which means that most of you are listening, and you are putting some emojis also, which is good. Looks like all of you are enjoying and you're learning new things, hopefully. Yeah, cool. So any questions? So you can stop doing a hi he and you can ask me any questions if you have till now. So many people are writing, that's good. So what are the things we have learned till now is, so everyone, I will just list those things so that we can use that as summary of our discussions. So I pasted what all things we have done till now. Will we get the PPT for a reference? Yeah, sure. I mean, as I said, the PPT has nothing. I've not made any PPT. I've just listed out what are the things which I want to teach you guys in this workshop. But sure, I can give you the PPT as well. So that's why I'm typing on the chat window so that you can save it wherever you want. Any questions? Okay. So I assume there are no more questions and I assume that all of you are actively listening. So let's go back and find out next few set of tools. Okay. So some of the things which I want to show you is, let's open some paper. Scholar. I'm putting random. You can just put anything you want. I'm just putting deep learning so that that's more trending than anything else nowadays. So if you see this particular paper and you want to put the citations, if you see they would have put some references right here, and you want to use this as reference. How do you do that? There is another plugin which is very helpful and I use it day in, day out, is something known as Google Scholar button. This topi, what you can see here, is Google Scholar button. So you just click here and click on cite. You get all the things which is listed here in different formats: MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver, and things like that. And also there are few tools like RefWorks, Refman, EndNote, BibTeX format, and different formats. You have to just copy this, right click, and my right click is not working. Okay. So you have to just do this and copy this and paste it wherever you want. You can download it. Another way of doing it is, so there are some questions, I'll come back to that. So if you see is I want to cite this particular article. Any website which is any journal you go, which is really good journal, they'll have this thing known as cite this article. So you get citable link, or you get this download citations. It will download for you as BibTeX or this format or any other format, or you can just copy paste this thing and cite it. Okay, so this is one of the way how you can get your Google Scholar, that plugin or extension. See, I told you it will download in the RIS format, so we'll not bother about it now. But let's go back to Google Scholar. So another way of doing it is just clicking here, this small double quotes. You can see this double quotes, right? Click there and it will, you can, same thing you will get it here. Either you can go to browser and click on this topi button, or you go to Google Scholar and click on this double quote. Both of them are same for you. Okay, so it's the same. This is very important whenever you're writing papers and you want to cite it immediately. This is very easy to do that. So Google Scholar button and citation directly. Okay, and what is the next thing? There are few softwares which you can use, like Paperpile, EndNote, Mendeley, and other things. So Paperpile is something which is a plugin for Google Scholar, sorry, Google Sheets, whereas Mendeley is available for free. It's a hands-on, we can see that sometime in different workshop. And EndNote is the licensed one which I use, but it's expensive one, so we'll not worry about it. There are free versions which also works almost like that. So we will see this paper file now. So I'll open one of the Google docs.google.com. Some paper will pop up. Oops, not this one actually. Docs. So one of the Google Doc I'll open, and if you go here, wait, yeah. So if you go here, you can go to tools, sorry, plugins, and there is something known as paper pile. Just a second. Okay, I'm really sorry. I got another call, so that's why I went there. I'm really sorry. So coming back to this the very important one is go to add-ins and then click on, there is something known as paper pile. How would you add this add-on? You might not have anything here. So just go to manage add-on, or you can just say add-ons, get add-on, and click on these things. You can search whatever you want, but we are searching something known as paper pile. And this I've already installed. You will get something like install, and you click here, you will get this. I'll show you one more add-on here, which a little later, but we'll check this paper pile first. I'll click on manage citation, and you will get one paper pile. You have to log in, and it will come right here on the right side. I hope you're able to see this. So what you have to do here is, if you know this paper you have to cite, just copy that link and paste it here. It will search here and it will give you the paper right here. You need not search somewhere in the Google. So advantage of this is, say if you have written abstract, if you have written introduction, and if you have written some stuffs here, and then you want to cite something at this point of time. So what I'll do is I'll go and click on cite, and it will go and you will get the citation here. Next thing is I want to put right here. I will say, for example, I'll write something on machine learning. So I don't want, okay. So I'll go here, add on paper file, and then I want to add a new paper, and I'll say machine learning. Why is it showing here? So I'll search online and I'll get some set of papers. Then I'll see, oh, this is very much relevant. I'll put it here, and you will put here. And next thing is I want one more paper to be put here. I'll put and click on cite. You'll get all these things right here. And after that, you can say, last thing you want to put is references, right? You want list of references, and I'll say update citation and bibliography button, and it will automatically pop everything here. Magically, it will happen. Yeah, so this is how you will see. I hope you're able to see my screen. Can someone say yes? Because I got a comment saying someone they're not able to see the screen. Okay, so this is how you do, and you get all the references here, but it may so happen your guide said that you should add one more reference right here in this part. So what you can do is you can go and just cite one more reference of your choice, and it will automatically go here at the cursor wherever you are put. And then this will also get updated once you click on update the bibliography. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to show. Yeah, so if you say no, I want in APA format, you have to just click on APA and then say update. Entire formatting here as well as in this, it will get changed. The one which we famously use in engineering is IEEE format. You can just go here and say more styles and then search for IEEE, right? So just click on this and say save and say update. See, this will change into numbers. This has to change into numbers once this box gets over. See, it changed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, and things. Even this also changed into numbers. If I have anything else right here, I will also say I want to put a paper on deep learning. Search online. And in this is the paper I want to cite. I'll just put this paper at this point and then update citation and bibliography. See, 1 will become 2, 2 will become 3, and so on. Automatically, everything will be taken care by this particular tool. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, automatically everything got changed here. So this is the beauty of the citation paper file. This is the version which is available with Google Doc, but I mean, I use EndNote and I have installed EndNote in my system, so I don't want to conflict it further. So I want to use EndNote, so I can't show because it's paid, as I told. But what I can show is this paper file, and Mendeley is also there. That is also, you have to install that, log in with some username and password, which is free. And then similar way it works, exactly similar way. There are many tutorials. So just try to see that. Okay. So I will just take some questions and then I'll go further, because we only have half an hour time. Just a second. So I want to summarize what we have done till now. This is done. Okay. And Spinbot we did, then we saw Google Scholar button, references, paper file. So this is what we have done till now, right? So I'll take some of the questions and then go back. So somebody said, is there any list of publications so that it is easy to recognize between fake and genuine? See, best thing is, as I told, use Scopus SciMago to find out if the journal is good. At least some basic level, and people respect you with that journal. Or even the best thing what you can do is go to Web of Science and try to see that MJL I gave you, right? So I can also put you the link on the chat. Master journal list. So publish in these things. This will really help you for your publication. So check in this. You should be able to get proper journal where you want to publish. Okay, somebody is asking, paper file will work for LaTeX also. I'm not sure about LaTeX. I hardly use LaTeX. The only reason is none of the journals compel that you have to do it in LaTeX or conferences. It's always Word, and all of us are comfortable with Word. My guide was comfortable with Word, so we went ahead with that. I'm not sure, there might be some tool with LaTeX, so please check yourself. If not, you let me know, I'll check for you. Okay, any other questions before we move further? Citation style in paper file you want to know. Yeah, so if you go, I hope you can see my screen here. On the right side of my screen, there is something like Chicago, APA, MLA, and update. So if you just click on that, automatically the citation style will change in paper file for you. And sometimes, usually that has been given by the journals, what kind of style you have to use, so that you can check. You can go here, more styles, and type the style name. So it can be so there is Annals of Neurology, Annals of Biomedical Engineering, and then click and save and update. It will automatically change everything. It's super easy. You need not scratch your head. Everything is done automatically for you. You need not even do a single thing for this. Just you should know what reference to cite where. That's the only thing. And see here, everything got converted automatically. Okay. So this is how you select the paper style. Let me see what else. Yeah, some of the things which, yeah, one more thing I want to show right away in Google Doc is there is something known as Lucidchart, which is again free. So sometimes we, even in PPT also it works, I guess. Sometimes you want to add a diagram here, and then you have to just sign in, and then it will open a chat, a new window for you. Lucid chart. Yeah. So it's an online software or diagram where you have to just use a chart. You can see in the screen, right? You can just put this chart here, or you can put this block diagram, flow chart, or you're developing a programming language, you're developing an Android, you're developing anything of that kind, iPad, you have to just put it on those things, and then you have to ensure that it is seen, and you can also comment on your Google Doc and it will take care. Okay. That's very easy. You can just check that as well. So it's called Lucidchart. Okay. So Lucidchart. Okay. The next thing I want to show it to you is there are few things. I'm not sure how many of you have explored that, especially in this online world. I know all of us are returning to offline, but there are some very important tools. My word. So here, if you go to tools and you say voice type speaker notes, or let's go here and say tools, voice typing, click here to speak, and whatever I tell here and everything will be typed very perfectly, and you need not worry about the typo, syntax, and if you're fast enough in writing or reading, everything will be automatically getting typed. See how it is recognizing and typing itself. So this is what is the power of this things. And many a times your guide might be speaking and it will be very tough. It so happens whenever I go to my principal for asking some queries, he will tell so fast that it will be tough for me to write. So instead of that, if I have my iPad, I can switch on my mic and it will automatically type for me. And the same thing, I can do it. But there will be some typos which you have to just do little bit of changes, but you have many of the things ready. So I'll stop. This is also one of the things which many of us don't know. We don't use it. Same tool is available in Microsoft Word also. Okay. Speak and type in mic. So I'll just see, I'll just share my Microsoft Word so that you can. Okay, my Microsoft Word is opening. It's taking time. No worries. So yeah, you can see my Word document, right? So here also in the Word document, there's something known as dictate. You have to click on that. You can see one dictate on the right. Okay, there is some problem. Let's go back to my Chrome, which is faster in responding. Okay, this is what I wanted to tell. There are few more things, very important thing. Cygen is not working, so I'll not talk about it, but there are few things. Ecosia is one of the, like I'm doing Google, right? Everything. So as in when I do some Google, somebody will print a, plant a tree for us. So if I do Google Scholar Deep Learning, so I'll just do this. As soon as I do something like this, my one plant. So if I want to plant one tree, 45 such searches has to happen. So at an average, we do at least 100 search per day, or at least 50 search. If you do one day, you can plant one tree. But where it is getting planted, that's a good question, which will be somewhere in the world. Not necessarily India, but more number of people start using this, maybe they'll come and plant a tree. Somewhere in the world, something good is happening. So this is one of the browser which I strongly recommend all of you to use. If you want to do something environment friendly, and in research, we do a lot of Googling. Even normal day life, if I want to go to Orion Mall, I just Google, take me to Orion Mall, and it will take me to Orion Mall via my GPS. So it's easy. So you can add this to Chrome. So you're used to Chrome, don't leave that, you can still use it. Another one which I wanted to share is Ecosia is one. And next one I want to share is DuckDuckGo. I will type DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is also another one. So in problem with Google Chrome and Mozilla and all, you have to sign in so that you can say the privacy and things and all is in stake. So you don't know what you are doing. Is it private browsing, or they'll be tracking, they'll be doing some advertisement based on whatever you Google. All those things can be avoided by using DuckDuckGo. Okay. So DuckDuckGo is, there is no privacy, everything is taken care, and you can search the web without tracking. So I do deep learning here versus in Google, it will help me to find out which is good and which is not good. Okay, which one is better. So it also uses Bing, I guess this uses Google Chrome, and Ecosia uses Bing, Microsoft Bing as search engine. Okay, so Ecosia is to plant trees with 50 searches per day, whereas DuckDuckGo is for privacy. Okay, and the last one which I want to discuss is, somebody asked me how to identify predatory journals. So there is a group of people who have come up with a list of predatory journals. Don't be surprised if you find this Bell's list, it's called, or list of predatory journals. Don't be surprised if you find one of the journals which you have published is in this list. So there will be tons of such journals which has very good name, but there are 700 journals which says International Journal of something something. Most of them are fake journals or predatory journals. You just pay some amount and they'll be, see, I'm sure in this list many of you would have published one paper or something. See this, International Journal of Agriculture, Aerospace, Advanced Research in Computer, IJRC, anything starts with international, not anything, most of them, it's not really a good journal, it's a predatory journal. There is Bell's list, which is, this guy is really amazing. He has sat down for years and he has come up with list of predatory journals based on some of the things. You can just use this journal evaluation tool. So what he says is, he is telling how does this work, he has already given. And he says use JCR master journal list, DOJ, directory of open access journal, something like that. So these are some of the features where you can find out if the journal is good or things like that. There are journal evaluation tool which you can use and you can try to see that. Okay, this is somehow one of the things how you can find the predatory journals using BEALLS, I guess. BEALLS, Bell's list. Okay, I'm not able to type. There may be restriction of number of words, I guess, in chat. Okay. Not sure why it is not working. I'll just check once more. Okay, some problem with my chat. I'll just restart my chat and then see if it works. Yeah, so these are the things which I wanted to cover today, and I want to leave some more time for the question answers. So I will do one thing. I'll enable all of you to unmute if you have any specific questions. So before that, let me see one of the Rupa has put one question. Is it good to publish in journals that is newly started in Elsevier? For example, Blockchain Research and Application Journal of Elsevier, where he says our ambition is to achieve an impact factor of 0.3 to 4. The journal aspires to be in the second quartile in computer science application by year 2025, but the journal doesn't have impact factor now. Yeah, as I said, impact factor is not the one of the important parameter where you will decide if it is if something important for you to include or not. What is important is whether it is a good journal based on if somebody has index, like Web of Science has index. So Elsevier, if it is there, it's very good publisher. You should also think about publisher. Elsevier is good publisher, IEEE is good publisher, Wheeley, Taylor and Francis, and there are many such very good reputed publishers whom you can go with and publish. New journals, first time when they publish, they won't have any citations, they won't have any impact factor, anything. As and when days goes, then there will be citation, impact factor, everything will be added soon. That's why in Web of Science there is something known as 4 categories. I showed you in MJL, right, when we were trying to search for journals. There are 2 things. So yeah, here this science citation index expanded and SSCI, these 2 things are something which you should target to publish. But sometimes, for example, blockchain is not there. So that may be fitting in one of these things, arts and humanities citation or emerging source citation. But they usually, as this is updated every year, it may so happen that this will be having only it may take 1 or 2 years for it to reflect in this MJL, but okay, you can go ahead and publish because the journal, the publisher is authentic and Elsevier will take care of the quality. But if you want to get citations and if you want to increase your profile, better to search journals within this 28,000 journals, preferably within SCIE and SSCI. Okay. So you can unmute and ask your question, and somebody saying not audible, but I guess I'm audible. You can unmute and ask your questions if you have anything. We still have 20 minutes of time to discuss and answer all your questions. No questions? Okay, let me only ask the question. So in the team, I see there are 114 people. So did you learn something new in this entire 1.5 hour? Did you learn something new? You can give by emojis, or you can put it on chat window, or everything you had known earlier. So people are telling yes, yes, yes. Okay, good that you have learned something new. Video. Okay, somebody saying everything is new. I have a lot of other things also to share. So, but due to time constraint, I've just listed these things. But I'm soon coming out with a list of very amazing tools which you can use for your research as one set, and another one amazing tools for teaching purpose, which can be more interactive way of teaching, online, offline, anything. So that is also something which I'm working on. These 2 things, keep an eye on that and be in touch. Uh, Come, you can follow me on social media. I'll be putting a lot of things if as and when something is released. Yeah, somebody is asking, sir, as a beginner, how to start writing a paper. So first thing I say is there is one more paper I will just show you because this is online. This is good. So there is how to read a paper by Keshav from Waterloo. Yeah. see, go to this paper and try to read this paper. Very simple, I guess 2 or 4 pages. Yeah, just 2 pages. How to read a paper. So before you write a paper, you should have the habit of reading a paper. You should understand what a paper is. So one of the, I guess, professor from University of Waterloo has written a paper on how to read a paper. So just go, he says first pass, second pass, third pass, and how you should write and things like that. Go and check these things. It's really, really very interesting for you to read this paper. I put that on the chat window. So please go ahead and read that. Okay, do we have any other questions? I'm not sure if you had expected something like this or different, but if you have anything else you expected, I can cover it in the rest of the time, which we have. We have 15 more minutes, so we can cover in those time. I also have some question. Yeah, so you can unmute and ask, please, whoever it is. Or if you're shy, please go ahead and type on the chat window. Munawati Biradar, you have some question. I also have some question. Same question, I guess. As a beginner, what you'll do. So first read as number of papers possible. Read good papers, good quality papers. There are a lot of open source journals which will help you. Go to Google Scholar, scholar.google.com and search whatever topic. Read those papers. You'll get to know how you should do. So somebody is asking how to remove plagiarism tips. Unfortunately, plagiarism is not something which we need to practice. You have to write everything on your own. I've given you one tool, Spinboard. Just is just for you to help. It's not a tool you are supposed to use completely. But one way to avoid plagiarism is read what you want to write or understand what others have said and write in your own language. It will improve your writing skills as well as improve your, it will decrease the similarity. So how to select the topics? Selecting a topic is again a big topic to be dealt with, but in simple, I would say literature survey will help you. So at least you would have had an idea. In computer science, I want to work on image processing. In computer science, I want to work on blockchain. In computer science, I want to work on something else. So that area, yeah, go to that particular area and then try to read papers, and automatically at the end of every paper they would have written, this is something which we want to try in our next paper, or this is something which we had tried but it didn't work. So you can select that topic and work on it. What is your opinion on open access option of reputed publishers like Springer or Elsevier? Is it worthwhile to make it open access, sir, by paying huge sum of dollars? Yeah, this is really a concern. Open access, you will be paying $1,000, $2,000, €3,000. It's a huge money which you'll be paying for open access. But how people manage that is either the university will have agreement with the publishers like Elsevier, IEEE, so on and so forth, Springer. Similarly, for example, my university in Netherlands, they have an agreement. All the Netherlands universities, 10 to 15 universities, they have agreement with the publishers. So if we publish as Netherlands IEEE, sorry, Maastricht University, then my publication fee, whatever processing fee they charge, open access fee, that will be completely free. I need not pay anything. But unfortunately, that option is not practiced widely in India. So what you can do is, if you have some fundings, you can have specific funding only for publication. Many of the publishers, many of the funding agencies do give money. And somebody is telling, is it worthwhile? Yes, it is worthwhile publishing open access, because more number of people will read, you'll get more citations, you'll become very easier, faster way of becoming famous in the research world. Any alternative websites to download IEEE papers for free? I'm not sure. One thing I would suggest is write to the authors and ask them if they can send you the paper. How much we have to pay for publication? For publication, you need not pay anything. Only open access fee you have to pay, which will be really huge, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. If they're asking you 3,000 rupees and telling you to publish, don't go publish there. It's not really good. Somebody faced a lot of network issues. Can you share the recording? Yes, we will share the recording. I'll upload on the YouTube channel of mine. You can go and read it. I'll also share with the organizers. They'll also upload it. What is your opinion on special issue of journal? Should we go for special or should we stick to regular issue? So there is a need for special issue whenever, for example, if working in biomedical image processing, there is a journal and they come up with a special issue on COVID-19. So that's apt. You can go ahead and publish. There is no much difference between regular and special issue. Special issue, it doesn't mean that they will accept and they'll publish however you write. They also follow the same thing. Only thing is the topics are very restricted and the reviewers are restricted and things like that. You can go ahead and publish. Recently in BMSC, we have something known as R&D news. Every month we publish some of these things. Whatever I'm discussing is through my R&D news, where we publish some articles on what is open access, what is special issue, and things like that. Recently, me and my colleague also published an article on that. If you're interested, please write me an email. Write me a mail. I'll be happy to share that particular article for you so that you can think if it is worth in publishing in regular issues. Any other questions? We still have 10 more minutes. No questions? Then should we close? I thought you guys will have so many questions. That's why I parked so much of time for questions. I'm eagerly waiting for your next session or talk in the webinar. Do provide information. Yes, definitely. Previously, I used to, okay, let me stop recording.